Hi guys, this is Bitcoin Charlie, and tonight we're going to take a look at the current debt situation in the world. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the debt situation that's going on in the world, but it is not a pretty picture. Here's the global debt calculator that basically calculates all the paper money debt in the world and how bad it's gotten and how many, whatever that is, trillions, quadrillions, that we're in debt that will never be paid back. If you don't think this is a problem and you don't think that there's something that's going to happen that's going to go awry or come off the tracks, I think you're seriously mistaken. This is a debt that can never be paid back. It is so big that all the people in the world, there's no way it can ever be paid back. So one of these days, something's going to give, and if you're on the wrong side of this, you're going to be the one, I think, holding the bag, because this situation ain't getting any better, and there's nobody in the world that's trying to solve this issue and fix it. And at this point in time, I personally don't believe that anything can be done to solve this issue, but this global debt clock gives you an idea of what's going on in the world and how bad it is. You can compare it by countries and see which countries are contributing the most, and then you can see exactly where it breaks down. But if you go back to 2008, where the world nearly collapsed because of all the debt, everybody is now saying that this is 10 times worse than that ever was, and this system is still held together. So it's kind of surprising that we're holding on this long, and I don't know when it will break. Nobody knows when it might break. There's a lot of speculation that something is going to happen this year, so I don't know what that reasoning would be other than people are speculating. I don't have any rhyme or reason to say if it will or if it won't. I'm just saying you probably best get prepared for something, and my opinion is you probably should have some type of crypto, because at least with a crypto coin like Bitcoin, you're going to be able to at least prove that you own it, because when this financial bubble bursts, unless you own the asset in your name, not through a stockbroker, but like I say, if you've got the actual stock certificate that actually proves you own it, you'll probably, well, I wouldn't even say you'll probably be fine, but you're going to have a better fighting chance of saying you own something versus somebody who just has a stock brokerage account saying they own whatever, XYZ stock, Apple stock, Amazon stock through a brokerage account, because so many of those accounts are being rehypothecated and they don't even know what anybody owns. And if you look at things on a more serious level, basically buried in all the fine print on all of this stuff through the DTCC. That's a clearinghouse for basically all the financial products. Basically in the fine print, you'll find that they actually own it, and you don't even own it. So it's something else to think about. I think probably you best get prepared and do something, because one of these days this thing's going to come off the rails, and in my opinion, it is not going to be pretty. But if you've got some type of cryptocurrency, some silver or gold, I think you're going to be way better off than if you don't have anything in your name. If you've got just U.S. dollars in the bank, I think those are going to be the people that are hurting the worst, because everything they will have will be gone. And even now there's a lot of talk in the United States where they're saying that the United States may switch to a different monetary system. Well, President Trump is threatening that maybe we go back to a gold standard. Well, if they do that, they're going to take all the paper money that's currently in circulation now, and they will pull it back in. They'll give you a legal window to bring it back to a bank and exchange it for the new currency. What that will do is it'll drive out a lot of the malinvestment and a lot of the investment that maybe has never been really legalized. It's never been fully taxed. It's been hidden in offshore bank accounts or something, and there would be no way for those people to get that money back. So that those paper or those dollars will be just flat gone, because those people will lose them because they won't be able to get them back to the United States in order to clear them out. So something else to think about. in the scope of this debt thing, I think if you haven't heard of the bank called Deutsche Bank, that is probably one of the leading banks, one of the world's biggest banks that is probably in deep, deep, dark doo-doo. It is in serious trouble, and it's been raided here lately, and now they're getting called up that they're having criminal raids on it because they've been found, caught doing all kinds of illegal stuff in that bank, and they hold a huge, this is going to get boring, but they hold a huge, what would I say, negative equity by holding all of these derivatives. I don't know if that's a good way to put it, but they hold a lot of liabilities for the fact that they're holding all these derivatives, and if this derivative thing ever goes south, that will probably make all of the financial stuff seem irrelevant at that point, because if this thing goes under, everything else is going to go under. And comes back to that world debt clock, because nobody's going to be able to pay it off. The world's already upside down in debt, so. And it's just been coming out here as of late. Deutsche Bank is probably classified as insolvent because they can't pay off any of this stuff. They're, I think, somewhere around a $50 billion bank in asset terms, but they have liabilities somewhere in the neighborhood of like 40 trillion, so based off of the derivative book. So I know that's getting boring, but just kind of giving you guys an update on what's going on in the world as far as the liability side of things that are going on the other side. So as I would say, you probably want to have some type of gold, silver, or some type of cryptocurrency like Bitcoin to offset some of these issues. Deutsche Bank's future is more the Fannie Mae than Lehman. Here again, they're talking about the same thing. Back in 2008, it was Lehman that failed and basically took everything down. Had the U.S. Congress not put together the $700 billion, then the whole financial system would have collapsed, and we were hours away. It was something like 2 hours away from the whole monetary system in the world collapsing and the whole world going into free fall, and everything would have been complete chaos. My personal opinion is 2008 was the wake-up call for everybody. If you didn't catch the financial warnings in 2000, 1987, these have all been warning signs, I think, to warn people to say, hey, things are changing, and I think this world debt clock here is one of the things that's showing us that the world is undergoing change, and this $57 trillion of debt is obscene. That's not even 57 trillion, that's 57 quadrillion. So it's not going to get paid back, and the people that aren't preparing themselves, I don't think it's going to be pretty no matter what we go through, but I think you better do your best to try and prepare yourself, because something's going to happen. This system will not go on forever. It's changing. Look at this. Every time the numbers roll over, it's rolling up about 250,000, 300,000. That's every couple seconds. So it's getting uglier by the minute, and this world debt just cannot continue. So what happens is anybody's guess, but I'd say you best get yourself prepared for something, because if you don't, as I say, you're going to be holding the bag of everybody else's stuff. So anyway, that's it for tonight. We'll see you in the next video. By the way, if you haven't checked out my website, go to easycryptocurrency.com and sign up for the free emails, and you can learn all about how to get started in crypto. And I give you all that stuff for free. And if you want to get more details in the private membership, I show you a whole bunch of the stuff I think you should be doing to protect your cryptos in case something goes awry in this financial system that we're all dealing with right now. So anyway, off to the next video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.